Recap of Astronaut Reserve Training Block 3, Week 5. This week was mainly about Earth sciences. So we started off with geophysics and geology. We learned all about the different spheres of the Earth, the hydrosphere, the cryosphere, the lithosphere, the biosphere, the anthroposphere, and of course the atmosphere, but more on that later. We particularly learnt about the evolution of the Earth and plate tectonics. We studied the topography of the Earth and why it is the way it is, the different layers of the Earth, including the internal structure, which gives rise to what's called the geodynamo. And the geodynamo is what gives us our magnetic field and protects us from radiation from outer space, which allows us to live as a planet. We also had a whole lesson on volcanoes because they're something that are really interesting to observe from the International Space Station. And after that, we moved on to meteorology and climatology. So different weather patterns across the history of the Earth, and then more specifically into synoptic meteorology, what happens day to day. We learnt about cold fronts and warm fronts and how to distinguish between them, how to know what happens when you get one or the other. We learnt about different types of clouds and how to identify them. From there, we moved on to climatology, so how all these things work together to make patterns over time. What is the climate history of our planet, and how do we monitor it, and what is happening with climate change today? Apart from Earth Sciences this week, I also had co-sitting at the EUROCOM desk. So EUROCOM is our mission control seat that we have at the European Astronaut Centre. And the EUROCOM is the person that speaks with the astronauts working on the Columbus module on the International Space Station, and in particular takes care of our European Space Agency astronauts there. I spent a few hours sitting in, listening to what they were doing, installing a new instrument, which was really interesting. Finally this week, we also continued our astronomy and astrophysics classes. So we learned all about the different types of galaxies, we learned about how stars are born, and we learned about specific techniques that you can use for observational astrophysics. And that was all for this week.